Hey everyone. There's nothing better, in my opinion, than seeing someone try to repeat a trend that's been dead for insanely long. Like just beating the dead horse that made them so popular in the first place by doing like one single trend. Especially, you know what, like when you make a video on TikTok, you try a new trend that you just saw and you don't think it's gonna work that well. But lo and behold, it makes your account massive, and now the only idea you have left in your mind to like carry on its attention is by doing the same trend over and over and over. That was embarrassing. I couldn't even goddamn do it right. And I get it. It is scary to try to like evolve from a trend or style that gave you like so much success that anything else would seem like a failure compared to it. But even then, I respect someone way more if they found like something new to work on and still like making more creative content from it, even if it wasn't, you know, as the same like par as the stuff that blew up before. And I feel like on TikTok it's way worse because that really is the best app to try one single trend if it's your first video ever and still get like 10 million views from nowhere. And I swear to God, there wasn't a better moment in time than back when like the NPC trend was so big, because really anyone could try, you know, like bare minimum to do it on live and still have people donate to them and watch them unironically or ironically. There was a bunch of people that did it as a joke because it was so oversaturated. They only wanted to add more and more to just how dumb the whole idea was, which it sort of was. And then you had people that were really serious about it, which, to be fair, some of them did try hard, you know, to not only keep up the character but also make it, you know, interesting to watch, which, you know, I respect a little bit. But then you had people that really cared about it just for the money, which, I mean, it's not that much, but it was from just doing like a dumb trend on TikTok to get money out of that. Then yeah, I can see how people would be hooked in. That's how you had people like Pinky Doll that really stretch out the trend to as most as like possible. But then of course, when you have a dumb idea that barely like makes any content or creativity from it, it can barely last long in like the violent landscape that is TikTok. Which is why like every 5 minutes there's always like a new cycle of people on live where the old viewers, you know, that gave gifts get so sick and tired of it that they just leave, with new people coming in, you know, partaking in it. Which, you know, that really sucks. But for the person doing the whole character, like the whole NPC acting, that should be way worse, because you have lives that go on for like an hour and just having to read the screen and do the same voice line, the same motions of arms, just the whole expression, that would absolutely take a toll on you without a doubt. And one person I know for a fact hated doing this trend, despite like how many times he did it, had to be the NPC Mars Morales or the TikTok account Leaks World. Because no matter what TikTok or live I watched him in, he was covered in sweat and he looked so tired, he was begging to just jump off a bridge. But before I really dig into him, I have to admit, I do respect him for like doing it out in public. You know, most cowards that did this trend, they were confined in the safety of their own home, but you do it in public where you have people, you know, like laughing at you, it takes a little bit of, you know, not honor, but I guess in the sense of TikTok, it would be like some kind of, you know, respect. Which I'm sure you've all seen like that one clip with someone like laughing at him and he chased him down for a bit, like he's like saying you and all that stuff.
Let me do my nerdy shit in peace before I beat your ass, nigga.
Which now makes me realize, looking back at it, I have this like small theory about actors, or not for him, but people playing a character in general. Where if you're playing like a happy, upbeat person with energy non-stop 24/7, you're automatically put in a mood where you have way more stress and you get annoyed way quicker. So any like small cracks on your character, you break down for a second. And you can name a lot of actors that this has happened to, and I don't really blame them because, you know, I'm not in their shoes. I'm not like, you know, on a show or a movie 24/7 doing non-stop. But for this guy, it has to be worse because he's not really a trained actor, he's just a normal guy. But despite that, he still kept on doing this whole NPC trend on his lives. And at some point, I would be like, why would you even like keep on doing this? But I have to hand it to him. He seems to have like maintained enough of an audience or like attention to still have people like give him roses or gifts. Enough so to make good enough money out of it. Of course not a living, but potentially enough to make a difference from it, because, you know, you have to receive a lot or like a lot of donation from the lives to actually notice like how much money you're making in total, because they're all so incredibly cheap. However, I think now he's got to the point where he's slowly, despite maintaining like a huge audience, he's slowly like having the viewers from his lives slowly drip out and getting less gifts during the lives, while also having less people tapping the screen to give him more likes, you know, throughout the stream.
There's 11,000 people in here. There's 11,000 people in here, and you guys are not tapping the screen, okay? Make sure that you're tapping the screen. There's 11,000 people in here. There's 11,000 people people in here, okay? Tap the goddamn screen, okay? Tap the goddamn screen. Okay, you see this button right here? Press the button, okay? Press the button. Thanks to follow. You guys are amazing.
I'm not gonna lie, normally that is my favorite kind of breakdown, where someone just like gets up, you know, like up close to the cameras, like give me likes right now, give me attention, and then pulling back from the camera as if like that wasn't the most awkward moment ever. Especially made worse by the fact, like, you know, his whole character is just being an NPC where, like, you know, he's always happy, you know, nothing wrong, nothing at all. What I believe happened is like he got really high expectations for how much money or gifts he would get for alive, to the point that he had like an imaginary paycheck for every time he started one. Because I vividly remember someone sending like 20 galaxies non-stop, not like, you know, 5 minutes like break, like one here, 5 minutes later, another one, just non-stop over and over. And it wouldn't be a big deal, but this guy, you know, respect to him, he made a promise to like do a bit, like a funny gag every time he got one. But when you do 20 of like the same bit over and over, you have to be like insanely tired from it.
Oh, is that a galaxy? And look, for those that might make it back to my own universe.
And to be fair, I'm pretty sure like each galaxy is like worth £10, so like around that same price range. So it's not like he was like dancing for nothing, like for absolutely free. But more than likely, that was the most profitable stream he ever had, to the point that he thought he could make really good money, which of course would be impossible because giving out like 20 galaxies like that guy probably came about because he had a shit ton of money and didn't care at all how he spent it. Which in some tiny sense, you could feel bad for him, but when I first saw this video, I found it funny. But after like the maybe 5th time rewatching it, I was more so pissed off, being like, him for like being so entitled to believe like doing this death trend after this like much time would still warrant people liking his streams and giving him donations. You should really be thankful for having 11,000 people on his stream and not just like 5 single people, because in no other universe can I imagine someone doing like something like this and still having like a modicum of an audience watching him. So honestly, in terms of like stretching out a trend for like as much as possible, he really is lucky for having people still watch him. But I'd be lying if like that one breakdown, like that one video, didn't piss me off at all.